Rise and SKOL. Happy Friday, everybody. Get that good old cup of mud in your hand and just enjoy the morning.
Mud in the mouth, pud in the hand. I got one about you, but I got cakes on the griddle right now, just frying upstairs.
Oh, God. Well, we better hurry up. We got plenty to talk about. We got news. We got trivia. I got a couple games for Lupagus. Top comments, as always. Everybody have a wonderful Friday, but let's get into some Vikings news right out of the gate. First off, in the news, perennial Hall of Famer Tristan Jackson, former Viking, has signed with the Cardinals. The sky is falling. Everybody's so mad that he's gone. We let him go.
Perennial preseason Hall of Famer. You've got a very key word there.
Oh, no, Hall of Famer.
Tristan Jackson, been with the Vikings, God, has it been 3 years or just 2? It seems like he's been here forever.
Seems like it's been 10.
Not really ascending the depth chart. Does make some nice plays in the preseason. I think the best opportunity for him is to move to a new team. So good luck, Tristan. Good luck in Arizona.
Yeah, Tristan Jackson, career 2 receptions. 2 receptions. It was always fun to watch in the preseason. But I think it's just funny how everyone's just upset. We really messed up. But you know what?
The truth is the Vikings chose Lucky Jackson over him. They chose Thayer Thomas over him.
Thayer. All right. Also, Vikings had $5.9 million in salary cap carry over, putting them at $70.5 million in the salary cap. That's a lot of cheddar. That's a lot of cheddar to be spending. That sounds like Trey Smith.
I was going to say, it sounds like enough money to afford yourself a little Trey Smith action.
Trey, make a pay. So,
maybe
we
corners too.
We've known they're going to have a ton of money. And now they just get a little bit more. Free agency, cannot wait for that. We already talked about it, but Jalen Redmond re-signed, so that is wonderful news.
And just reiterating, I love the fact that it happened so quick. Kind of gives him a reward. Nothing he has to worry about. Where am I going to be next year? No, you played well. We're going to show our appreciation and sign you right away.
Yeah, love it. Tom Pelissero coming out and saying, I think it was yesterday, his smart money would be on that Sam Darnold is back in Minnesota. And he said that the 2 bad games probably actually helped his chances of coming back to Minnesota based off of the dollar amount that he potentially lost. How do you like them apples?
I think Tom Pelissero, smart money is going to cost him some money. I think the Vikings are done. It looks like Sam Darnold.
You're saying you're smarter than Tom Pelissero and more in the know? Is this breaking news?
I'm just saying. I'd be shocked if it happened. I'd be absolutely shocked. The way KOC was talking about it just seemed like he was done. I don't know why you invest more time in Sam Darnold. He did his job. You got you more wins than you expected. You got Daniel Jones. You can work on him. So let Sam go get money from somebody else.
The only if this was somebody on ESPN, Ryan Clark or somebody, but Pelissero's very dialed in to the Vikings, very dialed in. And you know what? We don't know everything behind the scenes. We don't know where JJ McCarthy is. I'm glad he's out there in the field. What we're going to talk about, but the fact that it's Pelissero, I'm like, damn. I'm going to actually take a second to digest this.
Yeah, I don't want Sam back.
Well, I'm not saying I want him back. I'm just saying it's very surprising that he said that to me. That's all I took out of it.
Yeah.
Speaking of JJ McCarthy, end of your conference yesterday, saying he is out on the field. He is out there doing things. He's throwing. He's moving, which is very, very good to hear.
Yeah, it's the best thing to hear. It's what you want to hear. This is how I've been able to move on from the end of the season so quickly, just knowing that we have J.J. McCarthy in a season with our number 1 pick from last year, our future, and just watching him every single week get better, maybe get worse, maybe get better again. I want to take that ride. I want it to start right now.
Did you see? So Dan Graziano came out and gave his coaching hiring predictions. Did you see who he predicted the Bears?
Yeah, I think it was Flores, wasn't it?
Brian Flores. He said that he just keeps hearing, every time he hears Chicago, he hears Brian Flores. I wouldn't like that.
I mean, for Chicago, I think it's good. I think they need someone like a Brian Flores in there to get their shit together and get these guys to quit doing stupid shit on the field. So I think for Chicago, it's good. For Caleb Williams, I think you need a very good, smart, savvy offensive coordinator to help his development. But I think it makes sense. I'd hate to see Flores go to a division rival. It would suck. What he could do with some of those Bears pieces on defense is scary.
I hate it for the opposite reason. I hate it not that I think he'll do awesome. I think he would go there and suck because that's what head coaches do. They go to Chicago and they never pan out.
I believe.
I think it would blow up in his face. I want Brian Flores to succeed. Nobody succeeds there.
Could you imagine if he did, and also next year we have 4 really good teams in the NFC North?
Brian Flores. Yeah, that's pretty much the news. The only other thing I wanted to hit on quick was the press conferences yesterday. I don't know if you've watched Kevin O'Connell's yet, but they were mildly depressing. They were both came out just like usually they're positive Polly. I mean, they had some of that. They were spinning it, but very different vibe. Very sad.
Well, I mean, you look at the players too. Their end of the season meeting or little locker room press conferences they had. There was a common saying like, "We didn't expect it to end. We were getting ready. We were planning on coming here next week, getting ready for Philly. Like everybody thought they were going to win, and I think they were truly shocked by their performance and how it went down. And so, yeah, I think they're still in a state of shock, and it really hasn't sunk in yet. And if it has sunken in, it's the sadness part that's coming out.
I remember one time I was expected to wake up and feed my fish, and it was just floating at the top of the water.
Oh my God.
There was nothing that I could feed him. He wasn't swimming anymore.
It's worse when they have like that white shit all over them.
I don't know what you put in your tank. Mine's usually just water and rock, maybe a little.
Yeah, when they die, they get like that film on them. It's disgusting.
You should check on your fish more often. All right, let's go to a little game I like to call "What's the Verdict?" Look at that judge. He means business. This guy,
that judge looks like he should be locked up.
He means business.
I don't like that mustache.
It looks like it might have been taken from an adult film. He looks like he's got some business to take care of. But Lupagus, I want to know your verdict. Number 1, Cam Robinson trade. Looking back, good move?
Yeah, I think it was. I don't know what else you're going to do. He did have some good stretches there. At the end, it got gross, but it got gross with the entire team. Yeah, overall, it was a good move. I think it was. I think you had to do it. You're in a position where you're going to still compete for the NFC North, for a playoff spot at the time, and then it became more than that as the season went on. So the Vikings realized that. They made a move to help them get there. So I get it, and yeah, I think it was a good move.
I actually thought you were going to go the other way. I'm glad that was your answer. Like, if we had Q-Bear there, I mean, it would have been – Sam Darnold would be dead. He'd be dead, and also remember the Cam Robinson comp pick next year. If he goes elsewhere, we're going to get a comp pick. So, all right, next up.
Wash.
What's the verdict? Jalen Naylor, wide receiver 3, into 2025. Are they just going to hand him that job?
I hope not. I hope not. Just the drops.
It's a verdict, man. It's either yes or no.
Oh, no. Verdict is no. No.
You got someone waiting right there for their answer.
No, he is going to be Gonzo, or at least not wide receiver 3. He can be wide receiver 4, maybe 5. The hands were an issue. Some of the blocking was an issue. I want to see somebody else, and maybe somebody else who's not on the Vikings right now.
Yeah, I was so mad and sad about the loss. I completely forgot about that blown block, and I saw it on Twitter again yesterday. I'm like, you rascal alert. All right, last one. What's the verdict? Will the Vikings bring in legit competition for Will Reichert in camp after what we saw at the end? Not just like Johnny Blow from the street. But are they going to bring in somebody that actually has a chance?
I'm going to use my gavel here. No. Let the kid work through it. Let him work through his issues. He'll be fine. Still have 100% confidence in Will Reichert. I believe the coaching staff does as well. He's got to work through it. You got a case of the yips. He'll get over it.
Yippee, yippee. And he's got all season to get over those yips. I forgot to do the trivia question right out of the gate, so we got to do it right now. Who's the last Vikings guard to be an All-Pro who was also drafted by the Minnesota Vikings? Don't give your answer yet. Answer coming at the end.
Jeez.
Boy. Based off that silhouette, I think I can tell exactly who it is.
An alien?
Yeah, you know what? He doesn't have arms. He doesn't have ears. He has no hair. Just so you know that. All right, let's hop into the comments. Before that, who are we cheering on this weekend? Who do we want to win?
Commanders would be fun. Bills.
All right.
Texans. And I guess the Rams.
I think Washington and Buffalo would be a nice little Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Washington, Baltimore.
That's fine. I do not want it to be Eagles and Chiefs. That would be disgusting.
Be a good game. But yeah. All right, let's go to the comments. BK says, in the last 2 seasons, starting at safety, Bynum in coverage has allowed less 25-yard plus plays than Kyle Hamilton and Minka Fitzpatrick combined. He isn't flashy, but he is an above-average safety who who has only continued to get better. He's trying to sway us because we've been very like, just move on from him. He's not worth the money.
And that's fine, but look at the other plays those two make. I mean, they make some big time game changing plays, and they do it a lot. So I would rather have both those guys, and I'd rather pay both those guys some more money.
Yeah, that is really the only point to make. I mean, you're picking out a very specific stat, good stat, but you're not mentioning all the other things.
And that's something that maybe Cam Bynum's agent's going to go to when he talks to other teams and, hey, look at this. But yeah, where's the other plays?
He's going to bring a sheet out and say, look at this. Look at this. I've typed up some things I've done well. 25-yard. All right, next up.
Look what Big Dog said here.
Big Dog. Maybe he'll bring BK with him.
He might.
Today is a new day. It says Naylor missed some key blocks that also caused a sack, and JJ going anywhere after a catch. He was a major loser also in the game.
Yeah.
Not many Naylor. I put that up there because in the comments, a lot of comments this week, people have not been overly friendly to Jalen Naylor.
Was he one of our losers? I can't remember.
I actually don't think he was. He probably should have been, but there was a good amount to be dispersed.
It's weird because even when we were ready just to cut him, all of a sudden he had the game where did he have 2 touchdowns? I don't know. He blew up again, so I can't remember.
I don't think the Vikings were ready to cut him. We just wanted him.
Yeah, we were ready. That's what I mean. Me and you were ready to cut him. Then he comes back and has a nice game. Then he comes back into something like this. That's kind of what you get with Speedy. Good games, and then just maybe 4 games of shit in a row. Yeah, I think anybody dumping on him, it's all well deserved. He's had some issues, and the hands are the biggest ones.
Just the inconsistency, man. He's looked fantastic at times, like making catches he should not be making, and then he just looks like the late round pick. Maybe that's why he was just very inconsistent. So next up,
he might be the best pick from that first draft.
Possible, it's possible. Electric Control, hell of a name. Commenting on my mock draft, saying, I love the picks, but Vikings drafting defensive tackle and guard with their first two picks. Ha, ha, ha. I think I have a better chance of winning the jackpot in the next Mega Millions. It wouldn't surprise me if our genius management took a running back and a receiver.
Well, again, you got to figure out free agency does have something to do with it. But I do think, looking at the way the season ended, what you've been hearing from the front office, I do think they're going to actually look to build up those trenches, beef up the trenches. So I don't think it's a ha ha ha. I think it would be more ha 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 if they went the
we've said that for like 3 years in a row. Like
every said it.
Like the last 3 years, you're like this. There's no way they're not taking a guard. There's no way they're not taking a defensive tackle.
I think they never do. I mean, Byron Murphy, I think, was on the radar when in the Seattle liked him at 16 or something like that. So.
Yeah, like 300 players were on their radar.
Well, I think that was a guy they really liked and they were maybe going to take. And then he went off the board. But I think it's going to happen this year. I think they're going to look to beef up those trenches. And I've been doing a lot of simulators, and I've actually gone D-tackle sometimes.
Yeah, you know what? We say it every year. We hope. I think it's more wishful thinking. I wouldn't be surprised if it was just some random position. We shouldn't be surprised because that's what they do.
Well, and you have the draft come to you. Like, you can't force it. Like, I've been just these simulators I've been doing. Like, there's guards at the top, and then all of a sudden there's this big gap where there's just like no value. So you're not going to reach just to take somebody to fill that need. So you got to also play the draft and let it come to you.
Easy to say. We'll see what happens come draft day, but we know. Expect the unexpected. Hopefully they are big boys. Last one was from Mike Florence, and he said the number one need in caps for the Vikings offseason is a killer mentality on both sides of the damn ball, and he couldn't be more right. We do not have that dog. We do not have that dirty dog on our team. That is just like, I mean, remember Kendricks? I mean, these guys that would just get everybody fired up. Who is that guy? Am I missing him?
I don't know. I mean, Bynum gets him to do dances, which I don't
want a dancer. That is not a killer mentality.
No, I know. I'm making a point here. I'm saying
that is the opposite.
Who are the rah-rah guys? I was kind of embarrassing Josh Metellus doing the pregame thing, asking, about being dogs and showing up, and they didn't do that. I also think, I think you saw some of that earlier from KLC was going for the wins a lot of times in these games, which he wasn't doing before. I'll go back to the Packers game, instead of just run, you throw it there, make some plays, and you put the game away. So is that what he means by killer mentality?
No, he's talking about a player. And I think I don't want Kirby Joseph. I'm not a fan of him. The dude plays dirty, whatever, but opposing teams don't want to play it. Like just that guy out there that just like Hitman, he plays like it, or he used to anyways. He doesn't like, I want the guy that's getting everybody's scared out there.
Well, also on offense, I
Pumping
think
them
this
up.
comes down to like having a bruising, powerful running back, a guy who can take over, wear teams down. And then
Cam Scatabo?
Someone like, there's a bunch of physical backs. There's a kid from Miami, a big physical back too. You could get, someone who's going to take over the game late and just, like Derrick Henry does, and just keep pounding and grinding. And they can't stop him. Like you literally can't, because they're so damn tired of trying to tackle this guy.
Yeah, I would like one player on this team that opposing teams just don't like in general.
Mm-hmm.
Just like are not a fan. Olin Kreutz from the Bears back in the day.
Ugh,
I like that guy. Hated playing him. I bet the Bears loved him. I just thought that stuck out quite a bit. Like we don't have that, dude. All right, those are the comments. Let's go to one more before we do the trivia answer. And I was looking at the depth chart, and which one of these depth charts scare you going into the offseason? I mean, this is these are the guys under contract for each of these positions. Look at that cornerback. Good Lord.
Yeah, actually, D-line, I feel best about that. Yeah. I guess if it really came down to if you had to roll with these guys, it's the cornerback group, because Vikings can get by without having to run the ball that much. So that's not the huge issue. D-line, there's enough there. But yeah, the cornerback group, Mekhi Blackman, good rookie season, coming off an injury. Don't know what he's going to be like. Newton McLaughlin, what did he play, like, I don't know, 10 snaps this year? Maybe. Experience in the back end, that's a huge issue.
Yeah, it's fun to look at all the money we have to spend, but that money's going to go quick because we got a lot of holes.
So do you.
Not a ton. Get some. All right, we're going to wrap this up. Do you know what the trivia answer was?
I don't know. I guess let's go Randall McDaniel.
It is Randall McDaniel.
I thought you were trying to do a trick.
He was an All-Pro in '98. And looking back, so when I was looking this one up, All-Pros and Pro Bowlers at guard, Vikings have done poopy. It's Steve Hutchinson, Randall McDaniel, and there was one old-timer in there. That's it. That is it. I was hoping you were going to try to reach and go for somebody weird.
I was trying to think, maybe there's someone sneaky in there that
Hutchinson, but he wasn't drafted by the Vikings.
No,
he wasn't drafted by the Vikings, so
Ed Ingram never got there.
Not yet. He's got 1 year under contract. Maybe this is the year. That's Rise SKOL for this Friday morning. Get your butts, hit that sub if you have not. We'll be around all damn weekend. Viking season might be over, but we're not.
Ours is just beginning. Draft season just getting underway.
All
right, guys, remember this. If I can get my mouse to work. Kids get warts more often than adults and teens.
Interesting.